Hey, Soul Tribe. Mel, intuitive coach here, excited to tap in and try something new today. I've been loving the Soul Saturday sessions, but today I'm going to look at the upcoming week ahead. And I may incorporate this into our new Sunday routine where I take a look at each astrological sign and take a look at the week ahead. The energy, the mood, the vibe. We'll look at guidance and support to overcome any obstacles that may show up in the following week, and then of course blessings and opportunities. So let's dive in. If you are interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information below, as well as the timestamps. So let's dive in for the week of March 30th through April 5th. Aries. What do we have for Aries? What's the overall energy here, Aries? The guidance and support and the blessings and opportunities. Okay. Wow. We have Three of Swords. Now, the Three of Swords is showing up as the energy of the week, Aries. So there may be something you are working on moving past, okay? Any sort of unresolved emotional pain. For those of you that may have felt closed off lately, or if you felt like you've been unable to trust another or even trust yourself to make some choices or decisions, I do feel like there's a recovery. Now, the mood, the vibe may feel quite intense. Now, I do feel like the first week of April is going to feel quite heavy on a collective, on an energetic wavelength, and you may be tapping into that. But when it comes to your own personal world, a lot of you have been doing a lot of healing with this Three of Swords, a lot of healing. And I feel like you are moving on here from a situation that has caused heartache or heartbreak. You're working on recovering. Now, the guidance and support, the advice around some sort of obstacle that is playing out for you this week, we have the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords as advice is step beyond a comfort zone. Don't be afraid to take a risk here. Don't be afraid to see things from a new perspective, but I also feel like we get caught in the Nine of Swords. We get caught in obsessive thoughts or, nightmares, worst case scenario. And the guidance and the support for you is try not to let some sort of pain influence you to make choices that perhaps you wouldn't normally make under these circumstances. So I feel like you're asked to release. The Nine energy is about completion. You've completed a very difficult or challenging cycle in your life, and you may have some triggers showing up for you at this time, Aries, but the blessing and opportunity is a new path. You have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is a decision point. It's about you asking the universe. This is a prayer. You've been sending up prayers here, asking for a sign, asking for help, asking for support when it comes to something that has been very difficult, very challenging, very painful. For some of you, this is a divorce. For others of you, this could be some sort of painful truth, a separation, or even a betrayal by a family member, by a friend, maybe a betrayal at work. It is something heavy. The Three of Swords, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's felt like it's been weighing heavy on your heart for some of you quite some time. And I just feel like the Nine of Swords is here to remind you that this week, a new day has dawned. Instead of focusing on this pain in itself, I feel like you're focusing on a new path or a new direction. And that new path or new direction, it's a new day, right? A new day has dawned. This week is the opportunity to try something differently, to make a new choice, to explore all of your options. And it's a reminder here for you, the blessing, the positive aspect or the gift to watch out for is the world is your oyster. You see on the Two of Wands that he's holding the world in his hands, and Spirit is guiding you to step outside of a comfort zone, because we can get comfortable. Believe it or not, we get comfortable with the Three of Swords. We get comfortable in some sort of pain. even though the pain in itself is uncomfortable, we tend to stay in that because we think that that's the only path or that's the only choice. And Spirit here is reminding you that there's other ways of going about this. There's another path ahead, that yes, pain is inevitable on this human journey, but suffering is a choice. We don't have to stay in this energy here. And I just feel with this 9 showing up as guidance and support. Okay, the 9 showing up is saying step beyond a comfort zone. And that's also the message of the 2 of Wands. So don't stagnate this month, or this week, excuse me. Don't stagnate. Don't sit in something. Don't let it fester is what I'm getting. It's important for you to see something for maybe what it truly is, but allow yourself that space, that time to grieve. I feel like a lot of you already have, and then embrace that 2 of Wands, where you can take what you've learned from a difficult situation and transform it into something quite magical. All right, let's take a look here at Taurus. What do we have for Taurus for the week of the 30th through the 5th? The 30th through the 5th here for Taurus. Taurus, what is the energy of the week? The main theme, mood, vibe, the feelings that guide you this week. What's the guidance and support, as well as the blessings and opportunities? Okay. The main energy of the week for you, Taurus, is the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups is a beginning here. It's a new beginning. It could even be messages, news. It is keeping the heart open, because we tend to shut down after situations that have caused us to maybe go within or to become more introvert. And I feel like there's something quite beautiful coming up for you with this Page of Cups. This could be a new love connection. It could be a love for what you do. It could be strengthening your own intuitive awareness this week. Page of Cups can also be you focusing on your creativity. So I feel like this week, vulnerability is a must. So the main mood, the main theme for you is keeping that heart open to what inspires you. And remember here that you are the paintbrush, that life is the canvas. And it's important that you keep your thoughts positive, that you remember you are the creator here, and that you have the opportunity to play, not to miss the signs here, because sometimes the Page of Cups, right, if they're distracted or if they're focused on other things, they may miss the signs, the beauty, the synchronicities that are playing out in front of them. So be open to discovery. Be open this week to curiosity. Now, the guidance, the support, the advice for the obstacles here is the 6 of Swords. The 6 of Swords is moving on. It's moving on from situations that may have been difficult or that you felt stuck in. Now, the 6 of Wands is about, or excuse me, Swords is about trust, hope, and healing. There's a new journey ahead. And I feel like the message is don't look back. You're not going that way. And if you do look back, take that energy with you, saying this is how far I've come, and be proud of yourself, pat yourself in the back, but try not to take 2 steps backwards. And I feel like you are moving on here from something, and that's why you are embracing this new beginning. So this is a week for you of really trusting your intuition and leaving behind drama, leaving behind perhaps unfair disadvantages in some way. What are you leaving behind? The 5 of Swords. So there may have even been a battle of the egos or some sort of conflict or argument, because the blessing that's showing up for you, Taurus, is the Tower. So when the Tower shows up here as a blessing, this is about destruction of old structures. It's basically addressing the cracks in the foundation, because some sort of foundation was built on a faulty premise. It was based on lies, or it was based on, hidden truths. And when something is built upon false assumptions or, false energies, it's not meant to last. And I just see here that you are reprogramming your mind. You're reprogramming your energies in some way. And when the Tower shows up as a blessing, this is Aries energy, which we're currently in Aries season, where this is an awakening. This is a new beginning. Something has awakened within you and you're moving on from some difficulties. So I feel like this is a really wonderful week, Taurus, for new beginnings, trusting intuition, and maybe even creative projects, perhaps even learning as well, because the page, he's a student. He's a student of life. And even though it may feel like you're going back to school for something in a sense, right? It doesn't mean you're actually going back to school, although some of you could. Some of you are, falling in love again, falling in love with life, falling in love with what you do, falling in love with whom you are. And I just feel like you're opening up, because vulnerability here is saying, I don't have to stay closed off. I can move on towards this healing path, this healing journey. And that's exactly what I feel like you are doing here. So as that Tower shows up, don't resist the change, to try something new, to stir the pot a little bit, and to be open to new beginnings. All right, let's take a look at Gemini. Gemini, what do we have showing up for you this week? What's the energy of the week, Gemini? Guidance and support, as well as blessings and opportunities. What's the energy here for Gemini? What is the guidance and the blessings? Blessings for Gemini this week, please. Okay. We have here the Two of Wands. Aries also received this, Gemini. So this Aries season may be a time of decision making. Now, the Two of Wands is showing up in reverse as the mood, the vibe, the theme. So you may be at a decision point this week. There may be something you've been weighing up, some pros and cons. You may be wanting to see progress here. You may even feel like you're at a bit of a crossroads, but Spirit is saying, don't give up. Stay consistent. There's something here that is being answered. There's a prayer of yours that is being answered, and it is going to require you to step outside of a comfort zone and make a decision. And perhaps this decision is a difficult one to make, but I feel like this decision is going to help you move forward on a new path that aligns with your purpose, that aligns with your destiny. And we have the Six of Swords showing up. There's the new path. There's the spiritual journey. For some of you, this is a decision maybe around your mental health. This may be a decision around leaving behind someone or something that perhaps has taken advantage of you. Okay, perhaps it was resentments even. Some of you are making a choice here. Do I resent this situation and let this fester, let this keep me stuck? Or is it time to move on and heal and forgive? And I feel for a lot of you, whatever you were in, whatever you were weighing up, you're going to choose to take a path that feels more elevated. I'm getting elevation here for you, Gemini. So the Two of Wands decision point this week regarding maybe a partnership. This could also be reflection. So something may be reflected to you. You may be seeing where some sort of resentment or some sort of self-doubt has stemmed from. And the blessing, the opportunity for you is the Empress, Libran energy here, Taurus energy. So the Empress showing up is extreme self-care and self-love. She's also the most abundant. You're birthing a new cycle into existence. And Gemini, for a lot of you sun sign Geminis out there, we are hitting your season. It's just around the corner here. And I feel like you quite literally are birthing a new cycle, and you may be making a choice here to do something differently this year, right? Around your birthday, I feel like when this is coming, actually Taurus season. So April, May, even though this is happening for you this week, some decisions that you're contemplating, weighing up, maybe kind of going back and forth on, I do feel like some of these changes are going to show up for you because you've made a choice now, or you will in Taurus season. This does have to do with your heart. It has to do with this Venus energy of love and partnerships. It also may have to do with a mother. Some of you may be making a choice around a mother. This may have to do with healing or accepting. I also see for some of you, you're contemplating traveling or relocating in some way, Gemini. And because the Empress is here, I just feel like there's a lot of fertility, a lot of creativity within some sort of change that's occurring here for you. So whatever you're weighing up here, pros and cons, I feel like you're trusting your inner guidance, you're trusting your intuitive awareness here, you're exploring your options, and you're going to leave behind any stagnation or doubt, and you're going to move towards your highest good here, because your highest good is the Empress. So it looks like it's an overall good week for you, Gemini. I do see some of you, again, I feel like there is a deep contemplation or a reflection, but you're going to know soon enough where you stand, or you will know the answer soon enough is what I'm being told. And if you have like an important interview, or if you have a meeting, or you're connecting with someone, I just feel like there will be favorable results. All right, let's look at Cancer. Cancer, what's the energy of the week? What's the theme, the mood, the vibe, the feelings that are guiding you to take action? Let's look at the guidance, the support, as well as the blessings and opportunities. All right, main vibe. Nine of Cups in reverse. So when the Nine of Cups in reverse shows up, this is about areas of restlessness in one's life. This is about where you feel dissatisfied, because when the Nine of Cups is showing up in the upright position, this is wishes fulfilled. It's dreams. It's, feeling content, feeling good, feeling at peace with something. But because it's showing up in reverse, says your peace may feel like it's being disrupted. Okay, so I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The energy of the week, something here is being disrupted. It could even be your sleep. Some of you, there's broken sleep or restless sleep. But for you, the guidance and support showing up is the Four of Swords. Take time for yourself this week. Take time to rest, take time to recover, recoup. Perhaps some of you have been ill, or you've been recovering from something that left you feeling drained, or it left you feeling a bit restless. Now, the Nine of Cups is about reflection. And I feel like this is a week for you where you are reflecting on any areas of your life that, again, they don't feel 100%, and you're wondering, what do I need to do to get better? What do I need to do to feel better? What choices, what actions, what steps do I need to take? And the Four of Swords as your advice, Cancer. The Four of Swords is reminding you to take care of yourself. This is taking a break, rejuvenating. It's R&R, because sometimes that Nine of Cups can be very indulgent. Perhaps they're indulgent with this Four of Swords because they're overworking or overthinking, ignoring the signs of rest. This could even be mentally, like trying to maybe escape. Some of you may be working on, your health, maybe substances or foods in some way. And I just feel like, again, sleep is very important coming up, and paying attention to your dreams. All right. You may have some very intense dreams this week, Cancer. Your dreams are alerting you of some sort of choice or decision or path ahead. I am getting that here with the Four of Swords. So if you've been ignoring the signs of rest, this is going to be the week that you're going to want to recover. You're going to want to reflect here, because there's a blessing or opportunity lining up, Cancer. The positive aspect or the gift of the week to look out for is the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands is a pat on the back. It's some sort of achievement here or recognition. Yes, I do see that you've been working hard for this, so you will reap the rewards, of your hard work, but at the same time, don't burn the candle at both ends. And I feel like there's also a balance. There's something here about balancing here, responsibilities with play, like opening yourself up to what truly makes you happy. Yes, there may be a tad bit of a sacrifice over here, but it doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice 100%. There may be a small sacrifice that's made while you continue to grow, build, and evolve over here. But ultimately, Spirit is saying you will reap the blessing. The Six of Wands here, Cancer, is victory. It's success. It's leadership. It's accomplishment. It's even being in the spotlight. And so for some of you, I just feel like you haven't quite reached the dream just yet, but there may be some self-doubt in how is this going to happen? And Spirit is saying, let's not focus so much on the how. Remember that you don't often get what you want, you get what you are. And so if you are matching the energy of what you want, then there is a high possibility, of course, that that is going to manifest for you. And I feel for some of you, there's another plan. There's a better plan here that aligns to your path, but you may have to give yourself some downtime, allow yourself to rest or recover before you fully hit the pinnacle of success here. All right, that was for you, Cancer. So overall, it looks like a pretty decent week. You don't have any huge major arcana showing up. I just see that some of you, you're going to need a little extra rest. You might feel a little extra tired, but ultimately you're going to reach some big goals is what I see. All right, Leo. What do we have for Leo? The energy of the week for Leo, the guidance and the blessings. Okay, how would you like these, Spirit? Thank you. Okay. The main energy of the week for you, Leo, is the Chariot. So you definitely have some feelings that are guiding you at this time. Now, I'm going to go back here to this Five of Cups. Spirit is saying the Five of Cups is attached to all three. So you have a bonus card that came out. And the Five of Cups is actually in reverse, which is good because that tells me that some sort of past pain that you've endured, whether it be regret, betrayal, disappointment, maybe bitterness. Leo, there's something here that has kept you in a state of just focusing on the cups that have been spilt, right? But the energy of this week feels like you're moving forward with new hope. New hope is emerging for you this week. This is about past pain receding. You've allowed yourself that space, that time to sit in something, to grieve, to heal. And I feel like now you have a choice to move forward. The Chariot here is all about fast forward. It's about travel. For some of you, it's about your goals, your inspirations. You have this, you have this new sense of drive this week. And I feel like you don't want to look back. There's no turning back is what I'm getting because the guidance and the support is the Star. Your advice here is to fully embrace the healing that you have been undergoing. For some of you, this has been months. For others of you, years. There's a wish here that is making its way into your world. This is a brighter future ahead for you. And this week, there's a lot of inspirational ideas, a lot of inspirational thoughts that are coming up that perhaps you haven't felt for quite some time. And you're seeing here that you really have done a lot of healing. And that there really is a brighter future ahead. Do pay attention to your dreams this week, not just the dreams that you have in your sleep state, but your daydreams as well. Because if you find yourself kind of going back in time and you find yourself reminiscing and wondering, well, what could I have done differently? Or I'm still very hurt or upset, pay attention, observe that energy because you're being asked to shift that perspective. And for a lot of you, if you find yourself daydreaming towards a new path, right? You're like, well, what else is possible? What else could I be doing at this time? Spirit is saying, really get into that expansiveness, Leo, because you have some really beautiful energies showing up with this major. You have three major arcanas back to back with the Five of Cups below them all. So you have something behind you without a doubt. You have some sort of baggage or some sort of pain or something that, has challenged you to the core. But you also have the ability to heal fully from this and move forward. Now, the blessing, the opportunity is the moon. I have a feeling that this is partially due to the recent eclipse that's taken place here. Now, when the moon shows up as a blessing, this is some sort of truth exposed, something that was hidden from your view, something buried deep in the subconscious. This could have even been a secret. I feel like this is coming up for you. So the moon energy is your intuition. The moon is your dreams. And I feel like there is a dream, there is a wish that you are taking action towards. And this is happening here this week for you, where you're receiving a lot of divine downloads. You're receiving a lot of intuitive hits through your meditative state, through, again, dreams, through aha moments. So really pay attention to what your feelings, what your emotions are guiding you towards this week, because both of these cards, these major arcanas, we have Cancer here, we have Pisces. These are both watery elements. So your emotions are the driving factor this week. And if you are feeling happy, that is going to drive you to make some choices, make some changes that deliver happiness to you, right? So really pay attention to your feelings, your emotional drive this week, because there's some really great things coming in for you. I think this is going to be a very, very good week for you to take action towards your heart's desires, Leo. All right. Let's look at you, Virgo. What is going on for Virgo? What's the energy of the week for Virgo? The guidance, the support, the blessings and opportunities. Okay, Virgo. Energy of the week, please. The guidance and support and the blessings. All right. Virgo, you have the Four of Pentacles showing up as the overall energy, the theme, the mood, the vibe. Four of Pentacles can be sitting on safety, sitting on something here, not quite making a move just yet because you're not quite sure what opportunities are out there or what you want to do quite yet. And the Four of Pentacles can also be about managing your resources, your finances. You're taking a look at your stability, maybe in your relationship, perhaps in your career. And I feel like this is a week where you're not overspending, or at least that's the advice here. Don't overspend. Don't also hoard so much where, it's because of a scarcity mindset of lack of. You don't want to go to extremes this week is what I'm getting here. This can also be about withholding affection. It can be withholding something. It may even be like scarcity mindset of, I have to sit on this, I can't spend. But I actually feel like you're being well balanced, or at least that's the blessing. There's something here about not making an impulsive move despite external circumstances. So I would say here, I feel like you're doing well managing something here, body, mind, and soul. It feels like you know that there's an opportunity coming, and you know that when this shows up, because there is a blessing lining up for you. When this shows up, Virgo, I feel like then you'll say, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to offer my heart, or I'm ready to invest in this new opportunity, this new job. I'm ready to put my money in this area. So it just feels like there's a little bit of sitting on something here this week. Now, the guidance, the support is the truth. If this is a contract, review this very carefully before you make a decision. If this is a conversation, make sure that you are in the right mental space to have this conversation. Now, the Ace of Swords is showing up as a new understanding here. This is finding solutions, coming up with an action plan through being clear, through being honest, through respect, and also about authenticity, because there's been some sort of maybe miscommunication, or perhaps there's been a little bit of indecision here. And the guidance, the support is saying you will have the truth or the answer soon enough so you can make a clear, informed decision is what I'm getting here. Now, some of you may have been contemplating buying something Like, is this time to buy or sell? Is it time to, invest in this opportunity or to sell? Again, it just feels like you've been weighing something up, and the guidance is you may have some sort of truth or answer this week that allows you to make a decision, but down the road. It feels like don't be impulsive is the message I'm getting here. Try not to overspend or make a rash choice or a decision, because the blessing or opportunity here is the Temperance. This is patience. It's balance. It's self-control. And maybe for some of you, you are either shopaholics or you have the urge here to kind of swing that scale from one end to the other, Virgo. But I feel like you're being asked to just, sit on something, because there is a window of opportunity here. And I just don't feel like the window is open quite yet. But it wouldn't surprise me if it does come up in the next 2 to 4 weeks for you. Okay, the next 2 to 4 weeks, because again, the guidance here is come up with a clear plan, review documents, and maybe it has to do with the retrograde energy as well, like coming out of retrograde season. So mid-month, I feel like you'll be more balanced. You'll be able to make a more balanced, educated choice or a decision. Now, if this is about your health, for some of you, this could be a week of recovery. If you've kind of been in a spot where you've been overdoing it in some way. Okay, this is interesting. Security system or cameras. Is someone contemplating getting a security system, Virgo? It's interesting because I see something above the door. And so maybe like securing a position, or perhaps this is about like watching in order to get some answers, or maybe some of you are contemplating a security system. But I just feel like you're going to have some evidence. Maybe that's why the security system is coming in here. It's like evidence backing it up, where patience will pay off here. All right. Let's look at you, Libra. What's coming in for Libra in the week here of the 30th through the 5th? What do we have for Libra? Energy of the week, guidance and support, and blessings and opportunities. What's the energy of the week for Libra? What's the energy, please, for Libra? Whoa, Libra, that one shot out. Something may happen quickly for you. Oh, whoa, we have the devil. Libra, what's going on for you this week? Are you going to be tempted all of a sudden? What's the guidance? What's the support? Page of Cups and the blessing or opportunity for you, Libra. The 10 of Wands. Ooh, to let something go. So there's a temptation for you this week. Okay, the devil is showing up in the upright position. So there's definitely going to be something that tempts you. But because you have this 10 of Wands, I feel like you're not going to be persuaded. You're not going to be tempted into falling into some sort of a trap. Whether this is a mental trap due to oneself. Sometimes we tend to self-sabotage. Sometimes we let our temptations get the best of us. Let's say you're on this new exercise routine, or you're trying to stay consistent here with your spending or with a goal that you have. You may be tempted this week to veer off track. And I just feel like this is a big temptation here. I mean, the devil can also be about bondage. It can be about addictions, obsessions, codependencies, even materialism. And I just see here that there is a new opportunity, but it's important to not let yourself feel like you don't have control over it. There's something here about control. Now, the devil reminds you to control your desires rather than let them control you. So this is a week for you to get your bearings, make sure that you're in a good space mentally, physically, emotionally, okay? And don't let the devil, whatever the devil is for you, maybe it's a person, maybe it's an ice cream, perhaps it's that mind that says you can sleep in another hour, you don't have to work out today, right? Whatever it is that shows up in your world, because we all come face to face with the devil every day for a lot of us. And I feel like there's something that really kind of pulls you in here that does tempt you. But even if you kind of fall off, I feel like you get right back on track. The guidance, the support, Libra, the advice is the Page of Cups. There's the beginning here of something new. There's a beginning here of something quite beautiful, something quite intuitive and even spiritual. When the Page of Cups shows up, this is about playfulness. It's about vulnerability. That's what could scare you, Libra. Some of you are scared to be vulnerable, or perhaps you are not sure if you can trust this opportunity to be vulnerable with. That's what this could be for a lot of you. Like, can I trust this? Maybe the devil is in disguise. As in, maybe it's not really a devil at all, but perhaps because of something you've endured or something you've gone through, just trust yourself at this time. And some of you, this is going to be a message or news, something that comes in for you. And maybe it's you reevaluating something and asking, is this good for me? Is this still something that aligns with my truth? And the blessing, Libra, the opportunity is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is unburdening. When it's showing up in reverse, some of you are burnt out, all right? And you may seek external sources to kind of numb out or to fix something here. But because you have the guidance and the support, Spirit is saying here, remember who you are, Libra. You are a divine warrior. You are the paintbrush and life here. The world is the canvas. And you see that this young lad is holding up a cup. There's so many different colors in that cup. How do you want to color your life? What do you want to create at this time? What are you manifesting based on your emotions? And I see here that we always have the option to manifest from a place of fear or a place of love. So be mindful of where your manifestations are coming from this week, okay? Because sometimes that devil can be fear. Sometimes it can be obsession, or we tend to, manifest things that we don't really want, but we manifest based on what we are reflecting. So we don't want to stay attached to or tethered to that devil. But that's where the blessing here is saying, you don't have to. You can let this go. The Ten of Wands here is someone coming in to help you as well, okay? It can be another person coming in or another, maybe resource coming in to help you out. But I like that Page of Cups. So know that this week you could be tempted with something that throws your scales off balance. But I feel like that Ten of Wands is saying you're going to unburden. It's not going to last long, right? It could kind of throw you. And I'm getting Tuesday. So maybe Tuesday, Libra, could be the time where something tempts you. But again, I just feel like you're going to see through it. You're going to understand. You're going to see the truth of a situation. All right, Scorpio. What do we have for Scorpio? The energy of the week, the guidance, and the blessing. What is the blessing here for Scorpio? Okay, the energy of the week, the sun, beautiful. The guidance is the Four of Swords. The blessing is the Four of Pentacles. So the sun showing up is beautiful because I feel like you've been reflecting on what makes you happy, Scorpio. This is playfulness. This is success. This is warmth. That's what you want to invite into your week. This is all about happiness. And if you've been feeling low on vitality, get outside this week, get your vitamin D, go out and do something that is playful, that makes you laugh, that gets you out in nature a little bit, because the sun could be shining, and this could be a really great week for something really beautiful to show up here for you, Scorpio. Now, the guidance, the support, the advice for any obstacles is don't be afraid to take a break. Read that book that you've had on your nightstand that you've wanted to read, but life happens and we have responsibilities and then we run out of time. Give yourself a break. Some of you are traveling this week as well, Scorpio. And for others of you, maybe you just want to relax on your porch or on your porch swing or in a hammock, or you just want to maybe take a little cat nap. Do what you need to do this week, Scorpio, to focus on things that fulfill you, but also things where you feel like you don't have to focus so much on the mental mind, okay? Because oftentimes the Four of Swords can be mentally overworking, overthinking, and ignoring the signs of rest. This is a week of recovery. This is a week for you of allowing yourself to play and to have fun, to let your hair down, to, maybe eat the ice cream or to take the nap if you want, or to just kind of take a day to lounge, take a day for yourself. So it's very important that you get yourself the help, the rest, the support that you need in order for you to really embrace what the sun has to offer. Because otherwise, if we are so bogged down obsessing about work or obsessing about finances, if we are so bogged down by distractions, we lose sight of what's right in front of us. We lose sight of our vitality and the abundance that's all around and within us. And you have this to tap into, okay? It's here for you. Now, the blessing is the Four of Pentacles. The Four of Pentacles is saying there's plenty. There's plenty where that came from. And sometimes this can be a scarcity mindset of not having enough. But because there's a blessing, this is showing up as the gift, right? As the positive aspect for you to look out for. There could even be a new job opportunity lining up for some of you, more financial abundance, Scorpio. And then I'm also getting with the sun here, this is an opportunity for you to increase your health. Okay, because health is wealth. And I feel like a lot of you have been drained down, maybe low on vitality, where you haven't had a lot of time to spend on the things that you wanted, right? Or the things that help you feel better about yourself or better about your life. And I'm not talking just spend financially. I'm feeling energy as well, like low on energy. This is about revitalizing, refocusing, so you can show up again in the world. You can show up for your family. You can show up for your friends. It just feels like there's a part of you that's been on autopilot. And I feel like there's an awakening occurring here with the sun. Okay, so get out there, maybe even eat more fruits or vegetables or herbs such as dandelion that really align with that solar plexus chakra. So maybe again, dandelion tea, this could be squash, this could be bananas as well, but also vitamin D is going to do your soul so much good this week. All right, Scorpio. Let's take a look here at Sagittarius. What is coming in for you, Sag, this week? What's the energy? What's the guidance? What's the blessings? And again, if you are enjoying this reading, please do hit the thumbs up button. All right, Sagittarius, what's going on for you this week? What's the energy? What's the guidance and support and the blessings? All right. Ooh, it's a week of ending. Something's coming to a close. Justice. All right, Sag, what do you got going on here? You have these scales of balance coming in. It's in the upright position. So some of you may be dealing with a legal contract or a legality of some sort. This may have to do with the law, but for others of you, it has to do with some sort of karma. This is justice, a rebalancing of the karmic scales. It is the energy of retribution, accountability, and judgments. So I feel like the overall energy of the week is balance. So whatever has been out of alignment is being rebalanced out this week, Sagittarius. And I feel like this has your name all over it. So if you have an important court case, or if this could be a divorce, or it could even be some contracts coming in, I feel like they will be made with balance. And for some of you, you've ended or completed a karmic contract, maybe with a partnership or with a job, or maybe along your own soul's path, because your guidance and your support is the Ten of Swords. So when the Ten of Swords shows up here, Sag, this is about recovery. This is about, a new day has dawned. This is about you moving forward towards, again, surrender. A new day has dawned in the background. The sun has come up. Some of you may have been betrayed in some way. There may have been someone that kind of stabbed you in the back here. Yes, it was painful. Yes, it was difficult. And I feel like there's a new beginning. And that's why the justice is showing up here, saying whatever had occurred in the past that felt very disheartening, that felt very betrayed, or maybe even some sort of rock bottom, something that there was no coming back from. It just feels like that is closing out. That cycle is closing out. There may be a final chapter here that you're seeing play out this week. And the blessing is the Queen of Pentacles. This could be financial gain for some of you. If you're dealing with a court case, a settlement, it feels like there may be a financial blessing, maybe even inheritance. But I'm also getting with this Queen of Pentacles, you've worked hard. You've worked hard for your material wealth. You've been resourceful. This is also someone who's very stable, very secure, very much connected to the earthly plane and to the material world. And I just feel like you have some treasure. You see that she's sitting next to a treasure chest and it's overflowing. So for a lot of you, this does have to do with some tangible results, meaning results that you can touch, you can see, you can feel, you can smell, right? All of your senses are awakened here. And it just feels like there's a fresh start coming in the physical material world that has the ability to grow exponentially with abundance or with finances or with monetary gain. So this is also about stability. I mean, the Queen of Pentacles, she is the Queen of stability. So something here is being stabled out, balanced out. That was very difficult for you to go through. And for a lot of you, I am getting, yes, a divorce or again, something that was very unfair. Like you may have felt like you got the unfair advantage. Like you drew the short straw here, but actually you are the winner. You are the one that's coming out on top. All right, Sagittarius, this is a big week of answers, of alignment, of balance. So let's look at you, Capricorn. What is showing up here for Capricorn? What are the vibes? What's the mood of the week? The 30th through the 5th. What is going on here for Capricorn? The energy of the week, the guidance, and the blessing. All right, what do we have for Capricorn? Okay, you have some loose ends to tie up. You have some loose ends before this new beginning can be had. Now, you feel like you've missed out on opportunities. You feel like, when is this going to happen? When am I going to finally feel like I'm not standing at this start line, waiting for this race, waiting for that, that gun to go off so I can finally feel like I'm going over, I'm finally feeling like I'm proactive here in some way, because the Ace of Pentacles can also be material desires and spiritual well-being needing to be balanced out here. So Capricorn, I feel like there is a new beginning here, but it may require you to balance your, again, spiritual desires. And there's the saying of you attract not what you want, but that which you are. And it feels like there's a balancing here of the inner self to really help you align with what it is that you want in your outer world. And I see here that there's something bubbling up. There's something you have been really aligning with heavily, but it feels like there's been block and block and block. And you're wondering, Mel, what is this block? Like, how come I cannot have this new beginning? And I feel like it's here. The start of a new life has already started for you energetically. But it feels like there's been maybe health, okay? Health or well-being may have been an issue, or spirit was aligning you towards this new path, meaning that some of the other things that were rejected or in your eyes missed, it wasn't because you were unworthy. It wasn't because, of something you did wrong per se. It was that you were going through some of these lessons and challenges for you to train for being in the right spot here. So I feel like there's something coming in for you this week where I don't feel like you're getting your hopes up for because there's been disappointment, but there will be some sort of truth. I mean, the guidance here for you, Capricorn, the advice is some sort of truth or logic, strategizing. That may be what's been missing. So there's been like a missing piece to this new beginning, and it just feels like the final strategy or plan is being put in place here. That's exactly what's happening. So like I said, it's like this new beginning has already well on its way, but just waiting for maybe someone else to come in with this final resource or final missing piece here. Now, the blessing for you, Capricorn, is the World. Now, the World is in reverse, but we're not going to read it in reverse because this is a blessing. So I'm just going to say, I feel like there's been delayed gratification. That has been the case here, but the blessing showing up is the end of a massive journey. It's graduation. It is a new beginning. It's a sense of freedom. I mean, this could be financial freedom. This could be retirement. This could be marriage. This could be, victory in the highest sense, where you're realizing the world is my oyster and I have what I need now to really feel like I've succeeded in this area, whatever this area may be for you. But there is one final truth, one final piece that is coming into this Ace of Pentacles that is going to deliver it in the upright position. Because right now you're like, what is this that I need? Or when is this external influence going to give me the green light? Or when am I going to finally be able to get into that school or get into that program or whatever it is here that's been delayed or put off? It just feels like the King of Swords, this is the guidance. This is the advice for the obstacle. There's some sort of strategizing because the King of Swords, he's intelligent, he's logical, he's strategic. He's also not going to sugarcoat something. He's not wanting to play games. He's going to tell you how it is. And I feel like that's the missing piece that is going to deliver a new beginning and finally complete a cycle that's been ongoing for some time. All right, Capricorn, it's a big week for you. Let's look at Aquarius. What do we have here for Aquarius? What is the energy of the week for you, Aquarius? Feel free to check out your sun, your moon, your rising sign as well for a full picture. All right, Aquarius, what's the energy of the week? What is the guidance, please, and the blessing? All right, so the energy of the week, the guidance, and the blessing. Ooh, there's a celebration. There's a win coming in here for you, Aquarius. The Four of Wands is 1111. It is a new home. For some of you, it could even be marriage, soul tribe, stability. It feels like there's harmony here. There's cooperation. There could even be, again, some sort of celebration, some sort of win for you this week. This could be personal achievement. This could be professional. It could also feel like you've come a far or a long way with a family dynamic, something you've been working heavily towards. It feels like you're seeing some of that pay off here in this week, this upcoming week. And even on the 4th, I'm getting the Thursday or even the 4th of the week. I'm not sure, is that Saturday or maybe that's Friday? But I feel like the Four of Wands here is saying you are celebrating some sort of victory. Now, the support, the guidance is the strength because you've persevered. Aquarius, because you were determined, you didn't give up. And I also feel with the strength and the upright, this is about you overcoming difficulty and facing fears. So there's been some heavy fears here that have, yes, at times got in the way of your success, got in the way of your victory. But I feel like you finally see that your courage is paying out big time for you. You've also been working on your healing. You've been working on your mental mind, your belief system. Because Aquarius, the blessing and opportunity is the Four of Swords. It feels like you can put something behind you. It feels like you can put something to rest. And maybe you were even obsessing about this situation for quite some time. Or perhaps you worked so very hard to get here. Sometimes this can be overworking to the point of exhaustion. And it just feels like this is the week where you can rest a little bit. Rest assured that there is some victory coming in. Like you don't have to put in so much effort here because you've done that effort. Now, some of you, you're going to sleep better. There's something here about sleeping better, sleep quality. Perhaps you're even celebrating here a new mattress for some of you, or it could even be getting better sleep, more hours. You may feel more rested. You may even be recovering from, maybe a minor illness, or maybe it was a massive illness, but it just feels like whatever you've gone through, the strength is not something small. So I do feel like this was something difficult that you have finally feel like you can celebrate here a big win. All right, so this is a big week for you, double fours. Now, fours are about structure, planning, foundation, and stability. So if your stability has been shaken to the core with that strength card, this tells me that no matter what comes in and tries to blow down the house, right? The big bad wolves, it feels like you are not letting something take you for a whirlwind. You're not letting something kind of suck you up in that volcanic tornado vortex here. It feels like you're firmly grounded here. You feel like you're getting better about boundaries. And it just feels like overall, Aquarius, this is a very wonderful celebratory week, excuse me. You may even be making some choices here around a party or maybe a home or some sort of travel. I'm also getting for some of you, you could be planning a party. Maybe this is a graduation party for some of you, okay? Or it could even be planning a wedding. So I feel like you have some beautiful things showing up, and the reminder is also take some time to rest. Take some time for yourself this week. All right, lastly, Pisces. What's the energy of the week here for Pisces? What's the guidance and support for Pisces? And the blessing and opportunity. What's the blessing and opportunity, please? All right, we have the Chariot. So the energy of the week is the Chariot. So Pisces, for you, there's a lot of action. This may be a very busy month for some of you. You may even be relocating. You may be traveling this week. But with the Chariot, this is basically fast forward. It's the fastest moving energy in tarot. So I feel like you're on the fast track towards success. This tells me here that, it's time to find your focus. It's time to race towards your success this week. You're closer than you think. And I feel like you're going to see that you get some really positive feedback for you as well, because the guidance and the support is the Six of Cups. Now, the Six of Cups can even be something from the past that you are getting a pat on the back for. This could be someone from the past here where you feel like you finally made progress with them. You're finally getting through to them, or you feel like you're able to take something to the next level. But I'm also getting you've done a lot of work on perhaps your childhood wounding of some sort, or if you've been hanging on to unhealthy past attachments, or if you've been romanticizing the past in some way, I just feel like you're moving on from something very challenging or difficult from the past. But there's also this gentleness, this kindness, this exchange here of growth. So there's perhaps some growth taking place, and you're seeing someone grow up right before your very own eyes. For some of you, this is, it could be a child. For others of you, it could even be, a parent. But it feels like someone is growing, someone is changing, someone is shifting. And of course, that someone is you as well. And I feel like a lot of you, you're growing in your career, because this can be career advancement, and you may even be taking your career in a new direction. And this can be about reactivating a childhood dream of yours, something you've always wanted to do, Pisces, something you've always wanted to explore or discover. Now, your blessing is the Nine of Wands. Now, how can a Nine of Wands be a blessing? Because it means that you are a warrior. You really are a warrior, where you're showing up this week with a new sense of determination. You're showing up with, reigniting that bravery, that compassion within yourself. And I feel like you're persevering. You're overcoming these obstacles and hurdles that you've been faced with. And I just see here that you're perseverance is a blessing. The positive aspect or the gift is that you've completed a cycle. You've completed something of the past that you were meant to learn. And I see massive amounts of growth here, massive amounts of growth. That's why the Chariot is speeding forward towards some sort of success, because you've been in that stage of growth for so long where maybe you haven't seen a lot of progression, and now it just comes in like wildfire. Whoosh, it takes off for you. And I see everything is starting to fall into place. It feels like a bit of a dominoes for you, Pisces. So I really like where you are headed this week. I like that you are prepared for, maybe for some obstacles, but you're not letting those distractions completely veer you off track. Okay. That's what I see here with that Chariot. You're not letting the lack of direction or even impulsive tendencies to get the best of you. I feel like you're staying balanced because you're reacting or responding to situations in different ways than you have maybe in the past. And that makes all the world of difference. All right. That is what I have for you all. Let's take a look at the collective energy for this week. What is going on for the collective? What's the collective energy of the week? What's the guidance here? Ooh, and the blessing. So collectively, we have the Five of Swords in reverse. We are being asked to not feed the ego, not feed the beast in some way. We'll label that beast as fear. Okay, we can label that beast as maybe an illusion or someone who's trying to control us. It brings me back to the devil, right? Controlling our fears rather than letting them control us. So this is a week collective where we are asked to not get involved with the drama, because I have a feeling something's going down this week, collectively, globally, economically. It feels like it's a very heavy week in some way, but it's important for you to use your discernment, use your own intuitive awareness, because we have the King of Cups as the guidance. The King of Cups as the guidance is about making sure you are balanced and you're in touch with your emotions. This is about emotional intelligence and to stay in an energy of compassion. Even if you're seeing something around you that doesn't feel very heart-centered, try not to get caught up or sucked into that vortex here, okay? Because that may be what you're witnessing or what we see on a global level. It just feels like we're being asked to kind of keep our distance from the drama. You see that the King of Cups here, he's on his own island. And the blessing here, the opportunity, is the Six of Wands. I feel like we're seeing some sort of ego battle. Sometimes the Six of Wands and the Five of Swords, it can be a battle of the egos where you may be witnessing this, but stay the witness, stay the observer. And I feel like the Six of Wands as a blessing is saying victory will come from something. Maybe there's there's something in leadership that happens this week. And I feel like victory will thrive. And you see that there's people in the background, and it feels like these people in the background are kind of faded a little bit there, but the leader doesn't get to the leader without acknowledging others. So there's a sense of acknowledgement here. There's a sense that we're all in this together. It's not just one person that's calling the shots here. Everybody is working towards success. This is victory, leadership, accomplishment. And sometimes people are overlooked, or sometimes they feel alienated or even unrecognized. We don't want to feed into that. I feel like it's important to stay in that heart space this week as we may see certain things unfolding. Now, we've just gone through that second eclipse of eclipse season, and now we're going to start to see the physicality of the eclipse energies taking place, where there could be some truths, some massive truths that show up and hit the public. Okay, there could be some untangling of things happening here. And I just see that it's important for you to focus. You see he's holding the telescope in his hand, and there's something that you are, again, witnessing or observing observing from afar, and you don't want to get caught up in the drama of something or feed into it or continue giving energy towards something, because that's what the beast wants. And when I say the beast, again, whatever that may be for any one of us, it could be that fear, it could be control, it could be power, greed, whatever that is. And I just feel like there's massive success and growth on such a powerful level. Let's feed it love. Let's feed it light, because that's what we are here to do, is bring up the vibration of the planet, not feed into the ego. All right, collective, that is what I have for you. Again, if you like this Sunday check-in for each sign, let me know below. I will decide if this is something to keep around through your actions, through your comments, your shares, the views. So again, if you like this, please do give it a thumbs up. And thank you again for tuning in. Thank you so much, Soul Tribe, for being here. Lots of love.